Guild Wars 2 at its core focuses a lot on the idea of collectibles, from fashion with weapon skins, armor skins and dyes, to fun novelties like tonics and kites. There is a lot of stuff that you can unlock in Guild Wars 2. On top of all that, there are many other items that players love to collect that don't necessarily unlock anything for your account. So today, I want to go across all of Guild Wars 2 and highlight my personal top 10 favorite fun collectibles that you can unlock in the game. So let's get started. In the number 10 spot is Mini Professor Mew. Starting this list off with an example that is super popular in the community, but just isn't one I particularly find fun. I decided to split the difference and throw it in this spot. Mini Professor Mew is a miniature that is a super common drop from the Fractals of the Mists. So common in fact that it is so incredibly cheap on the trading post. You need a total of 40 of these miniatures to combine and unlock all the different Cat Golem miniatures, including Mini Old Tom at the end of the Old Tom collection achievement. This is pretty easy to do, especially given how cheap the Mini Professor Mew is. For anyone who plays through a lot of Fractals, you will get a ton of these. Many players decide to just list it on the trading post or straight up delete it since it is practically worthless. But many other players decide to hold onto these minis and store them in their bank to keep track of how many they have gotten over their years of playing Fractals. And some others like to buy as many as possible off of the trading post for the meme. In the number 9 spot is the Enchanted Snowball. This is a fun tonic item that you can get during winter stay, and it is actually decently expensive to get, especially for newer players. But a really fun aspect about this tonic is that once you get the original Enchanted Snowball, you can buy the Enchanted Colorful Snowball, which then allows you to purchase 8 additional colors individually. So you could be a classic white snowball or decide to be a red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, brown, or black snowball. And I think this is just a fun random toy item with an interesting upgrade system for it that we kind of see with a few other items in Guild Wars 2, but the tonic itself is honestly kind of fun, where you can be a massive snowball and just roll around the world. It can be fun to pretend to roll over other people, and you see a bunch of players do this every now and then. I also find being able to change their color to be super fun, and many players find the yellow snowball in particular to be an enjoyable choice for them. In the number 8 spot are a few very similar items, and it is the Mystery and Chest Tonics. These are some items that you can unlock in a few different ways. The Mystery Tonics will allow you to randomly transform into a random thing depending on which tonic you pick. One is a Beast Tonic where you will transform into a random animal. One is a Forest Tonic where you will transform into a random tree, and one is a Furniture Tonic which will transform you into a random piece of furniture. The Beast Tonic is fun, but the other two in particular are super fun to use in random areas of the world, like how you could just randomly become a tree in the middle of Lion's Arch. You can even type /dance to make the tree shake. Then there are the different chest tonics that you can unlock, which transforms you into a chest, similar to the ones you would see from champions or at the end of jumping puzzles and whatnot. In many ways, this is like transforming yourself into a mimic in Guild Wars 2, because you can pretend to be a chest and then suddenly move around and spook players who aren't familiar with what this tonic is. In the number 7 spot is the Endless Mystery Bearkin tonic. This may be an entry that is here because of recency bias, but I have been really enjoying this tonic. You unlock this by completing a total of 50 Mount Balrior convergences in the Jathyr Wilds expansion. If you decide to do one convergence a day for the daily reward, it will take you a total of 50 days to eventually unlock this tonic, but honestly getting through 50 convergences isn't too bad, especially since I enjoy that piece of content. This is a combat tonic that is similar to many other combat tonics in the game, including the classic Endless Golden tonic, but this one in particular has a good variety of transformation options that you can randomly get when you use it, and these transformations resemble the Lowland Colden that you have met around Jathyr Wilds. Typically, I'm not a big fan of combat tonics due to how they limit your gameplay nowadays, like when you can't mount, but I still like to use them every now and then, and this is a combat tonic that I have just suddenly really enjoyed. In the number 6 spot is the Endless Choya Piñata tonic. This is an item that I genuinely really enjoyed unlocking. In the Crystal Oasis map from Path of Fire, you have the free city of Amnoon, which features the Casino Blitz meta event. I really love the city, I really love the Amnoon Casino, and I really love this meta event where you run around the city collecting casino coins before eventually fighting a giant Choya Piñata. But as you collect casino coins, you can use them to acquire a wide variety of different rewards from the Casino Blitz reward cashier, and the biggest reward of them all is this tonic. And it just has everything. It is a super fun tonic aesthetically and just looks so fun. You basically transform into a smaller version of the giant Choya Piñata. You can also use this tonic for costume brawl, and it is a pretty powerful option with the rollout ability being super effective for that. On top of all of that, the rollout ability is also a decently useful mobility option for players in certain situations where you can move around locations super quickly by using it. In the North America server, there are a community of Choya people who like to use this tonic and other Choya stuff who you can find around the world and at meta events and whatnot, which just makes this item a little more fun. Just all in all, this is a super fun item to collect that is super fun to use. In the number 5 spot are the Super Adventure Box boom boxes. This may or may not be a bit more controversial compared to some other spots, but these boom boxes are just so fun. These are novelties that you can unlock, which will allow you to play different Super Adventure Box tracks, depending on which box you get, outside of the Super Adventure Box and for players around you to listen to. Some people really don't like Super Adventure Box and don't like hearing the music, but I like it, and it is fun to run into players playing them every now and then, or to sit back and listen to it myself while in game. You can unlock the World 1 and World 2 Super Boom Boxes at the generic Super Adventure Box traders for Bauble Bubbles, which you mostly earn while playing inside of the Super Adventure Box. These two boom boxes will play a selection of tracks from their respective worlds, but you can also unlock Dusk's World 1 and 2 Super Boom Boxes from the traders for Bauble Bubbles, but you can only unlock them after completing the entire world in Tribulation mode for the respective boombox you want to get. And the music from these boomboxes are heavy metal versions of select songs from the Super Adventure Box, which were originally by a fan and were brought into the game. In the number 4 spot is the Endless Mystery Quaggan Tonic. This is an item that I have a lot of nostalgia for because it is one of the first tonics I ever unlocked in Guild Wars 2. You can find the item specifically from a few different sources from Living World Season 1, or you can buy it directly off of the trading post. Alternatively, you can craft it with a bunch of endless black, blue, green, and pink Quaggan tonics that you can also get from some Season 1 sources or the trading post. The Endless Mystery Quaggan Tonic is a combination of those 4 aforementioned Quaggan tonics, where you can use it to be randomly transformed into one of those 4, but there's also an additional bonus unique transformation locked behind this tonic, where you can transform into Cuckoochu the Incredulous, who is just an incredible little Quaggan, also originally from Living World Season 1. Each of these forms have some costume brawl abilities, with Cuckoochu having a very fitting bonus Breathe Fire ability, and all in all, I just love this tonic a lot. In the number 3 spot are the Endless Embiggening and Miniature Tonics. These are 2 similar tonics that work in opposite ways found during Living World Season 3. The Endless Miniature Tonic can be found in Lake Doric and will make your character significantly smaller. This is fun on all characters, but is especially fun on an Asern character because it makes you so incredibly tiny. Then this Embiggening tonic can be found in Draconic Mons and will make your character significantly larger. This is kind of fun on an Asuran, where you can be a big Asuran like when you are in Super Adventure Box, but it is particularly fun when playing a larger Norn character because you can become even bigger. These are 2 tonics that are pretty easy to get as long as you have the required episodes from Living World Season 3. I highly recommend unlocking these items as an activity for newer players since they are easy to get and because they can give you a taste of what it's like to unlock some items in Guild Wars 2. Plus, they are super fun tonics to use that can actually be useful in certain situations. I'm not sure about the Embiggening tonic, but in North America, I know there's a group of players very similar to the Choya guild I mentioned earlier, which likes to play as small Asuran and use the miniature tonics together, which I think makes this item a little bit more fun as well. In the number 2 spot are spoons. Yes, spoons, an absolute classic of a collectible item. The Kutali File collection, an invented word meaning lover of spoons, is an iconic collection that players can complete for a mastery point, some achievement points, and a few bits of supplies. You can start this collection by purchasing the collectible spoon box from legendary collector Youngblood. You then have to go around the world and collect a bunch of different spoons that you can find around the game, most of which are from tasks. 1 wish can be bought with laurels or guild commendations, and 3 wish are drops. The entire collection is pretty fun, but the 3 drops in particular are iconic. The Siege Commander spoon is a random drop from enemy NPCs on World vs. World maps. The Fractal spoon drops from chests and random enemies inside of the Fractals in the Mist. Then the most iconic spoon of them all is the Carved Bone spoon, which drops from the Dragon chest after killing the Tequatl the Sunless world boss. This item is so popular in the Guild Wars 2 community that many people, more so back in the day, would say things along the lines of enjoy your spoon in map chat upon defeating Tequatl. Generally, after you unlock these 3 items for the first time, you will start getting the broken spoon instead from any of these sources, which is another fun item, but I think it bugs sometimes and you will get the original spoon again, which is always a fun surprise. But now for the number 1 spot for my favorite fun collectible in all of Guild Wars 2, and it just has to go to the Marsh Frogs. This may be no surprise for some players. Marsh Frogs are one of the most popular items you can collect in all of Guild Wars 2 and are also my personal favorite frog in the entire game. In Bloodtide Coast, in the Arcade Foreland area, you have this task around here where you can help the Lion Guard. You can find Marsh Frogs all around here and just pick them up, throwing them in your inventory and bring them to a few different spots around the task area where you can use them to progress the task in a couple of different ways. But the most important thing that I just said is that you throw the frogs into your inventory, where they will stay in your inventory forever unless you use them for the task or delete them, so you can save onto these frogs forever. And best of all, they stack in stacks at 250, so you can collect a lot of Marsh Frogs. This is a generally popular thing that some players in the Guild Wars 2 community, myself included, like to do just to mess around for a bit, where you can sit back, relax, and run around this entire area collecting frogs. This is even popular enough that you can track the statistic for how many frogs you have collected, including a community-wide leaderboard for who has the most Marsh Frogs on the GW2 Efficiency website. Something I talked about in my recent Q&A video is my retirement plan for Guild Wars 2. For when Guild Wars 2 is done being developed in the future and no new content is added to the game, I want to take each of my random aughts outside of my main characters, do everything in the game, and complete all of the stories, maps, and whatnot. Once I am done with that character and plan to retire them, I will liquidate and transfer a lot of their items and clear up my inventory space, then fill their bags most of the way full with Marsh Frogs, just so that my account can have a ton of Marsh Frogs on it. And that's my list. I hope you enjoyed. There are a wide selection of different fun collectibles that you can find throughout Guild Wars 2. This list is just my personal favorites that you can find in the game, and I would love to hear what your favorites are down in the comments below. I hope you are taking great care of yourselves. Have a good one, everyone.